Welcome back. Hello everyone, I hope everyone's having a good day. Here we are again with Dubster Dive. This time, looking at something everyone likes. So, let's have a talk about this anime, its English dub, and my thoughts on it as a whole. First, let me get this out of the way right up front. If you like this anime, that is fine. Opinions are good. Opinions are like turkeys. Everybody's got one. That's how that metaphor goes, right? Anyway, we all have things that, you know, everyone seems to love, but for some reason you can't wrap your head around why. Well, the Quintessential Quintuplets is that type of thing for me. So for those of you who actually like the Bleach Fullbring arc and were sad we tore it apart, don't worry, this is your way of getting revenge in a sense, I guess, because now, I'm actually going to tear down something people seem to really like. But before that, let's explain what this series actually is. The Quintessential Quintuplets, damn, what a name, is a manga written by Negi Haruba from August 2017 until February of 2020, with an anime premiering from January to March 2019 from Tezuka Productions, the same people behind Astro Boy 1983 and 2003's adaptation, and they helped out with Kids on the Slope, as well as Dororo and other projects. Season 2 would premiere from January to March of this year by Biburi Animation Studio, and their only other work that what I could find was Grisaya Phantom Trigger the animation. Oh, okay, so Season 2 seems to be a bit of a beginning story for these people. Season 3 was supposed to happen, but it was turned into plans for a theatrical film instead, coming next year. I'm guessing that has to do with the recent Demon Slayer craze, which, by the way, that movie is really good. You should watch Demon Slayer movie. Anyway, the story of Quintessential Quintuplets, it's basically a generic harem where the 5 waifus are all quintuplets that look exactly the same, just with different personalities that all conform to different stereotypical archetypes. That's the best way to break it down. You have a main protag who, even in the beginning episodes, is labeled a loser and an outcast at school because how dare he want to study and get smart? Yeah, fucking nerd. What a loser, am I right? Anyway, Futaro is our protagonist, and soon after the first episode begins, it ends up leading to him having to become the quintuplets tutor because all 5 of them are complete dumbasses that keep flunking their classes. That's basically the gist of it. And of course, all of them are standoffish towards him with the exception of a couple. And yeah, you can see a lot of the stuff that this show's planning to do coming a mile away, such as, oh, there are moments where he can't tell which quintuplet he's talking to. That's because, I guess he can't recognize voices. Now, to be fair, from what I heard, in-universe, in the manga and all that stuff, all of them sound similar enough to where no one could tell the difference, and even their hair color is the exact same. They differentiated it in the manga as well as in the anime for it to be easier for the reader/viewer to tell the difference. At least from what I could tell when I looked stuff up on this, I don't know for sure. But either way, yeah, you can tell the humor this show has going for it a mile away. Hell, there's even a bath scene where the 5 quintuplets compare chest sizes, and one of them says, well, we're quintuplets, so we all have the same measurements. This is pointless. Then why are we doing this? This is stupid. I haven't even gotten to the breakdown yet of the English dub, and I'm irritated. Anyway, I'll break down what each quintuplet thing is, their personality, and all that stuff. So, guess let's get into that here in a second. Firstly, the animation, jumping between 2 different animation studios. I did hear some people say it was alright, I guess. I don't know, because my eyes aren't so good. As far as the OST, you notice it immediately from Season 1 to 2. If anything, I think Season 2's OST is worse, personally. Yeah, Season 1's was nothing standoutish, but at least it, you know, felt like it was there. Especially with the main quintuplet theme, I guess is what you'd call it. Season 2, though, the music is just might as well be background noise. But alright. It's time we get to the English dub and give my thoughts on each character before getting into spoiler territory. First, the ADR director for the English dub, because it was produced by Funimation, of course, is Afeiyu, like I mentioned in Higurashi Go. Fortunately, Michelle Rojas was not involved with this, so there's no silly pronunciations except a couple. We'll get to that. But it's nothing to the point of anger-inducing or aggravating, like with that dub. But alright. Our protagonist is Futaro Uesugi. If that is how you pronounce that last name correctly. I don't know. But anyways. And like I said, he's the typical, he's a nerd, he's a loser, he's an outcast. Even the quintuplets think he's an asshole at first. He's voiced by Josh Grell, or Josh Greeley, whatever you want to call him. Armin from Attack on Titan, Vengeance from Black Clover, Shiro from Date Alive. Hey, he's Kai from DA0. Yes! Don't judge me! Issei from DxD Seasons 3 and 4. And the Grand Priest from Dragon Ball Super. Anyway. Like I said, he's typical pro tag here, and this isn't the first time we've heard Josh do a role like this. It's par for the course of them being a generic harem pro tag, and this is no different. You can tell he's at least having fun here, which I will say that about this English dub. The dub is decent. Everyone is having fun playing their respective roles, despite the quality of the show not being what I would call alright, but what do I know? So yeah, Josh did alright here. Next, we have Yotsuba. And Yotsuba, she's one of the quintuplets, obviously. We're moving on to all of them now. She's supposed to be the overly moe ditzy one of the quintuplets, but she comes across a lot of times as being potentially brain damaged past the point of stupidity. She constantly gets zeros on every exam and test she takes, which is kind of impressive. Anyway, I'll get to some of the other complaints I have about her in the spoiler territory, but we'll get there. Yotsuba is voiced by Bryn April, Kotari from Date Alive, Mimosa from Black Clover, Historia from Attack on Titan, and hey, it's young Rent from DA0. As well as, Nagisa? Is that how you pronounce that? From Kaguya-sama. And Sugumi from Soul Eater Not. Man, we really need to watch Soul Eater again. It's a great fucking show. Anyway, again, Bryn April actually brings her A-game for this performance. I feel she's having fun here. This is a role, though, she's played a lot of. Just look at Chikola from Nekopara, where she's playing someone who's a bit of a ditzy idiot. But at least she enjoyed the role, I guess. After her, we have Miku, aka Best Girl. I'm saying that because she's the only one that's actually 100% likable with no side effects of being an asshole and or stupid. Miku is the reserved one. The one who's probably the most intelligent out of the quintuplets, to be honest. In fact, Futaro even says that on a couple of occasions. And yeah, she overall just seems like the nicest one of the quins. Well, I guess Yotsuba's not too much of an asshole, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Miku is voiced by Felicia Angel, who's Mona from Genshin Impact. Hey, another Best Girl. Shaltir from Overlord. Kohaku from Dr. Stone. Hey, a lot of Best Girls here. Miyata from Keijo. And Higakure from My Hero Academia. As well as Asahina from the Danganronpa anime. Which is where we covered her the first time, I'm pretty sure. Might have covered her before. I don't know. It's been a while. But, yeah, Felicia did a fantastic job as her, I'd say. Again, I guess I should mention what each special subject is they're good at in school, because that's the whole thing. They're high scores each with one particularly good subject. So, for Yotsuba, it's PE. For Miku, it's history. But yeah, Miku, like I said, I think she's Best Girl, personally. After her, we have Ichika, who is the flirtatious big sister type, who's also kind of lazy, being as how the first time you really see her room, it's a fucking mess, and yeah, she can't even be bothered to organize anything. That by the way. Got comments to make there when we get to spoiler section. Anyway, Ichika's voiced by Lindsay Seidel, who is Young Licht from Black Clover, as well as Vonica. Nagisa from Assassination Classroom. Lots of Nagisas this time. Angel and Romeo from Fairy Tail. And Eris from Jobless Reincarnation. As well as Ruka from Steins Gate. And again, I think she did an alright job here. God, I don't even remember what her top subject is. Someone's gonna hound me about that in the comments. There's a reason for that, though, and it's because, well, I'll get to that in a bit. I don't want to say too much, because I know some people get mad at spoilers, but yeah. Again, Lindsay Seidel did a fine job as Ichika. But, yeah. Moving on from her, we have Itsuki, who's the tsundere of the group, who's also a foodie. And, yeah. She seems to not like the main character, but deep down, you know, she does like him somewhat. It's that typical shit. Anyway, she's voiced by Tia Ballard. Yay! Happy from Fairy Tail, 02 from Darling in the Franxx. Let's see. Yoshino from Date Alive, Sylph from Black Clover. Do I need to say anymore? And, yeah, she's doing her, I guess, 02 voice here, you know, her deep voice, and she does an alright job as well. Itsuki's the one I felt didn't get as much screen time comparatively to the other Quins, so I don't know if that was the anime cutting a lot of her screen time, but she does get more in Season 2, but in Season 1 in particular, it feels like she didn't have a lot to do most of the time. Or is that just me? I don't know. But I guess we should get some of the other side characters out of the way. So next we have Raiha, who's Futaro's younger sister, voiced by Danny Chambers. Chise from Ancient Magus Bride, Lilia from Jobless Reincarnation, Amiliko from Shadow's House, and Hina from The Day Became a God. Oh man, why not remember that show? Anyway, this is a very minor recurring character, I guess, because there are several episodes where she's not even there. And I'd say Danny Chambers does a good job voicing someone super moe. After her, we have the Quintuplets' daddy. The one who hired Futaro to be tutor. Or their tutor. Yeah, gotta forget words now, man. Anyway, he is voiced by Chris Waycamp. Which, do I need to say any more than Eraserhead from My Hero Academia? The second voice of Eraserhead in Season 2 onward. He's also Edgeworth in the Ace Attorney anime, and Mest from Fairy Tail. And hey, he's Leskinen from Steins Gate Zero. Anyway, he does a good job sounding like the imposing daddy that you don't want to piss off. He's also barely there, so not much to mention. The last two characters I guess I could cover for now. One is Maida, who I guess turns out to be pseudo best friend Kun by the end of Season 1. He's also in a lot of Season 2. Voiced by Rico Fujardo. Nozel from Black Clover. Takeru from the Chaos Child anime. Jackal from Fairy Tail. And yeah, I'd list off more, but again, this character isn't there often enough to warrant it. And it's just... there's not really much to go off of with Maida here. He's typically there just to fill out best friend Kun quota, and that's it. Speaking of cliches, next we have Takeda, a character who shows up in Season 2, who... have you ever seen this before in a harem? A male character who has sparkles with them on a regular basis and acts completely full of themselves. Gee, never seen this. Anyway, he's voiced by Stephen Fu. Itsuki from A Sister's All You Need. Someone's going to ask us to cover that at some point, aren't they? Henry from Black Clover. Pro Tycoon from Darwin's Game. And... yeah. Again, he does alright too, but by the time he shows up, you're already more than halfway through Season 2, so it doesn't really matter. And the last one I'll mention is Futaro's dad, who's voiced by Jim Ferranda. He voiced someone named Shannon in Case Closed. Shannon. Silly name for a man. He's also Akita in Desert Punk. That's a show I never thought we'd reference. And Sergeant Block from Full Metal Alchemist. You know, Maria Ross's partner, for those who have seen it. And, yeah, this guy's kind of a dick. Gotta be honest. Anyway, as far as silly dubisms, before I go on, there's a couple where they call Futaro Futaru with a U and Futara with an A, I noticed. Also, Stephen Fu saying individual instead of individual in Season 2. But other than that, nothing to the point of how Higurashi Go is mistreated. It's just your typical things that comes with the territory of rushing a simuldub out the door. Which Season 1, it was pre-epidemic, so fine, you were rushing it out. Mispronouncing a name here or there, sure. But Season 2 just wrapped up a few weeks ago, several months after the sub. Why were you rushing again? But alright. I'm gonna get into spoiler territory now and break down all my grievances with this anime, so this is for those who have seen it. If you haven't seen it and you want to check it out, go at your own discretion. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this personally. I find it cliche. Oh, I didn't even mention the last quintuplet, did I? Yeah, see, I did that on purpose to be an asshole because I know she's the most popular one and I don't understand why. The final quintuplet is Nino, or as I like to call her, Cuntface. Nino is voiced by Jill Harris. Jill Harris is known for voicing Noelle from Black Clover, a much better tsundere, Cardia from the Code Realize anime, Aura from Overlord, and Rika from SSS Gridman, as well as Lummy from Fairy Tail. And to be honest, Jill Harris does a great job with what she's given, but I don't like Nino. I genuinely don't. Look, this isn't a spoiler, but one of the first times she interacts with Futaro in the very, first or second episode, she ends up drugging him, knocking him out, just because she didn't want him in her home, even though, again, he was paid to be there by her father. Cunt move. Anyway, she does a lot of other shit that really irritates the hell out of me, and I've seen people say, and I've seen it myself too, now that I finished Season 2, oh, well, she has a redemption arc in Season 2, she's much better now. Look, first impressions, you only get one of them, and it takes a lot to redeem yourself, and I don't think she quite did by the end of Season 2. I'm sorry. She did too much shit throughout the majority of Season 1 and first half of S2 for me to warrant forgiving her that quickly. Yet, for some reason, I constantly see people going, she's the greatest waifu, please step on me now, etc., etc., and I don't get it. Maybe someone can explain to me. And I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying that, but Nino's an asshole. In fact, a lot of them are assholes. How in the first episode alone, when Protaku Futaro is at their house, Miku walks in, and even she's not avoid of the asshole curse, accusing Futaro of stealing her track jacket because she can't find it. And her first guess is, oh, you stole it because I don't know you. Then Nino walks in wearing it. Nino saying, oh, well, I had to wear it because I didn't want to get myself dirty while making this food. And Miku doesn't even apologize to Futaro. She just picks a fight with Nino right away. Okay, sure. Accuse the man of stealing something from you and get pissed at him. Don't even apologize. And that's the thing. A lot of times, I don't even think they do apologize to him for treating him like shit. Itsuki's another one. Yeah, and I know someone's going to point out Futaro makes a lot of dick comments towards Itsuki when he first meets her at his table at the beginning of Ep 1. Basically implying that if she keeps eating as much as she does, she'll get fat. Does that make him a dick? Yes. Does that make him wrong in the end, in the long run? No. The way she eats, she's going to become a land whale in 10 years. Trust me. But, seriously. In fact, Itsuki only agrees to tutor him by the end of episode 1 because she sees his family situation and his sister Raiha looks super adorable in Moe and thanks her, saying, thank you for taking my Oni-chan on as your tutor. And she's like, well, I guess you could tutor me. Why not? Now, though, to delve any deeper, with the problems, the major issues I have, gonna have to go into spoiler territory. Been warned. You better loop up that anus, because like a stapler, we're going in. I don't know what the fuck I was talking. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Okay. So, I'll give Miku this. This is why I said she's probably my favorite of the quintuplets, and hands down my favorite. Episodes 2 and onward, you can see she really starts trying to make some form of effort with Futaro. They start bonding over her love of Japanese history and her weird fetish for liking Sengoku warlords. That's a new one. But, yeah, she's the only one that seems to have a massive arc and starts really liking Futaro earlier on. In fact, she's the one I ship with him because anyone else just seems like it wouldn't really work because they're all pricks. I'll get to that. During study time later on, Nino's even sabotaging their studying by convincing everyone to leave the room. Yeah, I forgot to mention Yotsuba was also not standoffish towards him. She's the one being really nice and actually making an effort to study because, well, again, she's the dumbest of all the quintuplets. The others at least get 10 to 20. She mostly gets zeros 90% of the time. But, yeah, during a study session after Miku and Futaro became friends, Nino's like, oh, hey, you know, you've got to go do this. Hey, you should go do that instead. And the quintuplet's like, oh shit, you reminded me. All right, I'm out. And Nino's smiling to herself. And then she gets pissed because Miku actually wants to study. Nino, you really want to fail that badly, huh? Well, makes sense. You are an asshole. I understand. Anyway, speaking of Nino, I guess we should get to the first scene that legit pissed me the hell off. This anime pissed me off a lot, I know. I told you, it's going to be mostly ranting, alright? So I hope you all work with me here. Remember when this anime aired in 2019, the Vic Mignogna drama was in full force, especially by the time Eps 3 and 4 aired in Season 1. You know, the ones where Futaro fell for harem trope number 101. He was called up to the quintuplets' home because he forgot to take something back with him. So Miku lets him in while she's in the shower, and I think you all see where this is going. He walks in to pick up the thing, and Nino is walking around naked without her glasses on, so she can't see it's him. And, I don't know what the fuck it was. Something from, like, a shelf almost falls on her. Futaro jumps in to save her, and she Me Too's him. I shit you not. Do I need to say any more than that? Bitch! Anyway, we actually have a pseudo trial, the very, it's either at the end of the episode or very beginning of next episode, with all the quintuplets basically like, oh yeah, Scott's best perv, piece of shit, he's a loser, I hate him. And Miku defends him, saying, well, actually, I was the one who let him in the house. He had to pick up something. And Futaro's like, thank you for saving. She goes, don't get close to me. It's like, okay, you're 180ing back to cunt now, because obviously you believe partially that he might have been a perv. Sure. Would you all like to know why the case is dropped? Or whatever. The quintuplets drop it. Because they deem he's too much of a beta male pussy to attempt anything. Not making this up. Keep in mind, again, first time I saw this, because I rewatched the anime to prep for this, I want to make sure my hate is sharpened with an edged blade. Anyway, first time I saw this, during the Vic drama, because by the time the dub aired, it was mid to late February, I want to say, right after Funimation posted a stupid fucking tweet. You all know the one from 2019. So this episode did everything wrong for me. I was so mad. But I persevered on with the show. Alright? I persevered on. Anyway. All the quintuplets, of course, think he's a prick, except for Miku and maybe Yotsuba. and are now starting to be a little more standoffish towards them. The fireworks festival is the next thing on the docket for season 1, and there are moments where he's asked when he's standing with a quintuplet one-on-one, what's your relationship with her? And he's like, acquaintances, maybe. And the quintuplets all start giving him shit for like, you think we're only acquaintances? And Ichika, don't worry, she's going to get her own rant in a bit. Ichika's like, that hurts. I thought we were at least friends. Friends? You bitches were going to let your sister me to this man. And until you realize, oh, he's a pussy. He wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't be friends with any of you. Fuck you people. Except Miku. Miku's alright. Maybe Yotsuba too. She just needs to be less stupid. Anyway, the fireworks, though, is when you find out that the quintuplet's parents, like, the dad is always working, and their mom passed away, so they're basically all half Batman. Or I guess Batwoman, as it were. Oh, God, I just referenced that show. Actually, Nino kind of reminds me of Batwoman. Huh. What do you know? Anyway. So, yeah, you find that out here, and how they all want to watch the festival together, but it all goes tits up. Ichika's an actress, which is what I was going to get to. So she's supposed to be the lazy archetype, right? That is kind of dropped when you find out she's trying to work full-time on top of her schooling by getting a job as an actress. That's the opposite of laziness, show. So, she's not really lazy. I just don't know. Anyway, Futaro does his damnedest to get them all gathered together alone in the park so they can have their own little fireworks display, while Nino literally hurts herself saying good job to him for helping them out. Fuck you, Nino. So you think, oh, Nino's starting to actually appreciate him more and is going to be a little better about this, etc. Well, nope, because at the school the very next day, when he offers to help her study, she calls him a stalker. Oh yeah, she's been calling him a stalker this entire time, by the way, every time he shows up to her at school, in front of all of her friends. He then accidentally says something sexual like, but what about our look, I'm sorry about what happened at the festival, but give me another chance. I promise you'll enjoy it. I'll do whatever you want. And she ends up slapping him. Nino, again, fuck you. There's also a scene in this point where they all play a board game and he's losing. Oh, I should mention why he's having to work for these quintuplets instead of quitting, right? So, those who've seen the show know, it's because his family's in debt because his dad is an asshole and I guess borrowed a shit ton of money and now they have to pay it all off. So the quintuplets' dad, who's filthy rich, is paying him shit tons of money to teach all of them. You know, paying Futaro. I'm going to be honest, Futaro, your dad is an asshole, because apparently 80% of people in this universe of quintuplets are assholes. Huh. Is this show a metaphor for Twitter? Anyway. So yeah, his family's kind of poor. That's what I meant when I said Ichiki saw his family life and is willing to teach him, because she's like, oh, well shit, I should help him out. Anyway. During a board game, that they're all playing, Futaro's like, oh man, I'm poor even in this board game. And Nino literally makes a comment saying, ew, you're poor, disgusting. And that's what he thinks. I better not let her know that I'm actually poor in real life. Who knows what she'd say. Yes, great waifu, laughing at people for not having money. Fuck off, Nino. Did you all know I hate this character yet? So at this point, he also gets an ultimatum from the dad, because midterms are coming up, that if the quintuplets fail their exams, if even one fails the midterm, he's fired. And Nino's like, oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to think of failing on purpose, because I'm an asshole. I want you to get fired. And there's even a scene where Ichiki's giving him shit because Futaro's like, I can't lose this job. How'll I get paid? And she said, so that's all we are to you is just money? I'll give Futaro credit. He says, yeah, what's wrong with that? You can't do shit without money in this world. I need money. So what if I see this as a job? Good on you, Futaro. Seriously, what did he do wrong here? Anyway, So he decides to have a staying overnight party where, I guess, study group with the Quins. And because he sleeps in one of their rooms, you know what happens. He wakes up with a Quinn in his bed. All this harem genre. This is definitely a harem for the ages, rewriting the tropes. And yeah, I know someone's going to bring up the line in this point. I know. Yotsuba saying, I got pens for days, because someone asked her to borrow a pen. I think it was one of the Quins. I had to say it, all right there. Of course, all the Quins fail their exams, and he's about to get fired when Nino actually steps in, saving him at the last minute. And then does the whole, but I'm still going to treat you like shit, because, I'm a bitch. I actually have a theory here. All right? I think Nino saved him so she could torture him more, because he's a pitiful man pussy, and she's sadistic, so she gets pleasure out of torturing him. That's my actual headcanon here, because it makes the most sense. Anyway, it's at this point we also, she says we all passed, like, none of us failed, our exams. And she's like, well, none of us failed all of our exams, so that's the loophole I'm using. Whatever. Moving on from that, we've got the photo plotline. Yeah, apparently in his past, Futaro knew one of the quintuplets or something like that. And he used to dress like a bad boy and had his hair blonde. And Nino sees the photo and is like, wow, who's he? Is he a relative of yours? Because he's my type. Yeah, it figures you'd be into the delinquent type. Of course. Anyway. She also belittles him in this scene, because of course she does. Anyway. We're nearing the end of Season 1. I'm going to try rushing this along now, because, yeah, this rant's getting a little rant-happy. I'm just trying to prove my point, though, as to why I don't, or prove my stance as to why I don't like this show very much. So, of course, Season 1 ends with a camping trip. Haven't seen that before in a harem. And Futaro is forced to share a room with all the Quins, as Nino is worried that he'll try sexually assaulting them at night. Nino. If you were that worried about that, and thinking that he might be some sort of monster or predator, why did you save him from being fired a few episodes back? You stupid bitch. Anyway, Futaro is tasked with basically doing the haunted house segment here, I guess you'd call it. The test of courage, that's what it is. So he puts on a disguise, and Nino finds him in a disguise with a blonde wig and thinks he's the person from the photo and falls instantly in love with him because he looks like a delinquent. And he has to come up with a fake name of Kintaro. Yeah, it's all really dumb shit. This point also ends with Futaro and Nino getting separated, and him and Ichika getting locked in a shed together as the episode ends. The tool shed where they belong. Pretty sure it's tool shed. Anyway. Because, haven't seen that in a harem. Can I please go watch Toradora instead? Clannad? They're much better shows. I actually like those characters. Please. Alright. Anyway. Yeah. It does the whole cliche thing, too, where if you dance with someone at the campfire, they'll become the person of your dreams that you're destined to be with, your soulmate. And Futaro's alter ego, Kintaro, promised to dance with Nino, while Futaro is supposed to dance with, Ichika. I don't care, I really don't, I'm sorry. Doesn't matter anyways, because Futaro, it turns out, was sick, because he caught a cold that Raiha had earlier on. As it's revealed, all the quintuplets cared about him and are starting to really... when he's sick, alright? He's sleeping in a room on the trip. It ends with all 5 of them, even cunt-faced, I mean Nino, sneaking into his room to see how he's doing, hoping he's getting better. And, yeah, Season 1 ends with him getting married to one of the quintuplets, as we do a flash forward. Yeah, I forgot to mention, it actually began with him basically getting married to one, and he was like, I remember the day I met my lover. And then it flashed back to the beginning. Yeah, it did that shit. So Season 1 ends, and we don't know who he got married to. Okay, we're on season 2. God, this is going to be the longest episode I've ever... But I gotta prove my point, alright? For those of you watching, thank you. I wouldn't do this without you. I couldn't do it without you. Season 2. So, Futaro is in the hospital now, which you find out is run by Nino's dad. Nino claims that she paid for his room and that he should be thanking her because she came to visit him. And he's like, but it was your dad that paid for it. And she goes, it's the same thing. And even he's thinking, no, it's not, you bitch. Fuck off. And, yeah, he remembers knowing a quintuplet in the past. He doesn't know it's a quintuplet, but we do as the viewer. This character is named Rena. Can I go watch Higurashi instead? Please? Anyway. And Rena is voiced by Alexis Tipton. You'd all probably know her as Kid Trunks from Dragon Ball Super, Hana from Prison School. 2 shows I'd much rather be watching. And this character amounts to nothing, so I don't feel like naming off any more roles, to be honest. Platinum the Trinity and Blaze Blue Tag Battle. There we go, there's something. But yeah. But, so, yeah, he remembers knowing this girl named Rena, giving her a charm or something. And it's revealed that's one of the quintuplets. I don't know how the quintuplets had such a radically different voice only 5 years earlier. Especially when all these VAs can do, you know, I guess moe lolly voices. But they didn't want to reveal the mystery yet of who it was. Spoilers, it's kind of stupid. So Futaro's out of the hospital, rings the doorbell at the quintuplets' home, says, I'm coming in! Oh, and he walks in on Itsuki changing, Itsuki changing, and is called a perv because she's in a towel. Oh, man. How is this considered a classic? Love Hina did this over 20 years ago. Pretty sure Tenchi did too. But hey, in this episode we get Miku giving Nino shit, saying Miku, because Nino's like, you're the bland, boring one, Miku. And Miku says that Nino's the annoying, shitty one. I agree, Miku. This is why you're best girl on this show, because you're constantly giving Nino shit and putting her in her place. So, Nino doesn't want to study and is calling Futaro an outsider and a loser, even though at the end of Season 1, she allegedly seemed like she was caring about him when he was sick. Do you all see the problem I'm having with this character yet? It leads to Nino and Itsuki moving out, with Itsuki moving in with Futaro, because, of course, and Nino staying at a hotel. But, yeah. Nino even thinks of Kintaro. Oh, if you're wondering how he got out of that, he basically just told Nino in Season 1, Kintaro couldn't make it. He had to go home. He's sorry he stood you up. But yeah, so Nino knew a guy for a couple of hours and is thinking of him now to calm herself down from her situation and trauma. Holy shit, this woman fell for him really damn fast. You knew him for an hour! But yeah. So, this is when, Futaro is running around trying to find her, Nino and friends. He runs into Rena, which this makes no sense with what we find out later, who asks him to tell her what happened in the last 5 years. Again, still voiced by Alexis Tipton, but we know it's a quintuplet now. And, yeah, at least I think it is. I don't know, it's kind of unclear. She said she's never going to see him again, but she's glad he's doing well. Anyway, Futaro ends up finding Nino, still trying to help her out, and because he fell into a pond or some shit and is dirty, Nino agrees to let him wash himself. Yeah, and Nino's also there with him naked. Yeah, I forgot to mention, Nino said that because he saw her naked, it's okay for her to see him naked. Okay. But you're still an asshole, Nino. Whatever, I don't care. And of course, even when Nino's helping Futaro, she's putting him down, calling him a bitch and a loser. Nino explains she doesn't want things to change between her and her siblings, and that's why she's been a cunt towards him, because he's interrupting their family dynamic. That's not a good reason! I've seen some people tell me, before I watch this, that Nino redeems herself and this is the reason, and I was thinking there has to be more to it than that, but there's really not. She tells Futaro she wants to see Kintaro one more time. He agrees, but to dress like him one more time. Basically, like, he leaves, comes back, disguises him, and she finds out the truth, and her response is drugging him again and knocking him out. Yeah, okay, you guys can have Nino. I don't fucking care. Nino ends up running into Miku, and telling her Futaro is selfish for wanting the quintuplets to simply get along like a family. How is that selfish? I don't understand. Whatever. The conflict between her and Itsuki, because, yeah, her and Itsuki had an argument. I don't think I mentioned that over this because Nino was acting like an asshole earlier, is resolved. They all go back home. Nino's still being standoffish towards Futaro. It's at this point we also find out Yotsuba doesn't even know how to brush her own teeth properly. Again, she went full retard. Never go full retard, as a famous historian once said. Anyway, this is when we get the Yotsuba plot thread, I guess, where Yotsuba she's can't say no to anyone. She's overly nice, and the track team and basketball team are all asking her to help out. So it ends up leading to where Nino is forced to disguise herself as Yotsuba to resign from the track team. Because again, I mentioned before, it's the show's thing. They all disguise themselves as each other. And Yotsuba sees this and thinks she has an evil twin, which is the second time they did this joke, because they did this in Season 1 too. Yotsuba, you're a quintuplet. You know this. Fucking idiot. You're an idiot, Yotsuba. Anyway. Well, turns out the Quins, coming up as finals. Futaro thinks he should resign because he knows he didn't do a good enough job. And the daddy's like, I don't want him being your tutor anymore. So all the Quins move out and get their own apartment. And they think, we can't pay for Futaro to help us anymore because we don't have our dad's money. We have to make our own way. So how should we have Futaro help us? I got it. One of us could give him a kiss. That'll encourage him. Nino says, Ichika, you should do it. After all, you are an actress. You know, Nino, you're an asshole, but I'll give you that line. That was pretty great. Even Ichika says, what, just because I'm an actress, what are you implying that means? I think we all know what it means. Also, Nino imagines working at a restaurant here for her job, and it's a stereotypical French restaurant. And when I say stereotypical, I mean very stereotypical. Itsuki wants to be a teacher because, you know, her mom was one. I don't care. Itsuki doesn't get much to work with, I feel. We're nearing the end, alright? Futaro agrees to teach Yotsuba one-on-one while the others go have a break at a theme park because Yotsuba is the one who's most behind. He says, alright, Yotsuba, we're going to train man to man. I knew Yotsuba was a dude. I knew it the whole time. This leads to, of course, something happening where they fall into each other, and Yotsuba saying, hey, I thought you said man to man, not mouth to mouth. Damn it, Yotsuba, you're such an idiot, but your quotes are too stupid not to laugh at. Anyway, Nino's confronted by her dad telling her to come home, which is when Futaro shows up to save her for some fucking reason. And that's when she admits she loves him to him, but he couldn't hear her because of the wind. So later, when he says that to her, she gets pissed, calling him an idiot, says, how dare you, before saying, I love you again. You know, I say we're almost done. We're probably going to be here another hour, aren't we? But yeah, she says he doesn't have to answer right away, and that she just wanted to let him know that. Well, Nino, too bad for you you've acted like a complete pile of shit, because I hope for Futaro's sake he has enough common sense to tell you, hell no. Anyway, Yeah. Up next is the whole vacation arc, I guess, where somehow Futaro and his family end up going to the exact same vacation spot over spring break as the quintuplets. The clichéness is off the charts! We do have Nino and Ichika interacting, as Ichika says to Nino, she's like, didn't you fall for this guy way, way too fast? And Nino's like, I don't care, doesn't matter. To be fair, we do get a good moment with Yotsuba and Ichika here about how Ichika's always been the leader of the family since their mother passed away. And to be honest, I think that's when the show shines the most, is when it's focused on the family aspect of it, between all the quintuplets coming together and overcoming hardships, etc. Because when it's trying to do the harem-y thing, it fucking sucks. Anyway... Nino also ends up talking to Futaro after this whole thing, the vacation thing. Yeah, at the vacation, Miku doesn't want Futaro to help teach them anymore because they went on vacation because they passed their finals. Futaro was able to help them pass. Should mention that. I know I'm going all over the place here. This isn't a full breakdown. It's just me rambling, I guess, about this show if you couldn't guess. Yeah. They all pass, and Miku's like, we don't need you anymore to be our tutor. Her mindset is telling him this, so that way he'll stop seeing them as students, so she can confess her love to him, because Miku was the one who fell for him first, all the way back in Season 1. Again, the only one who isn't an asshole towards him. But yeah, after the vacation, which Futaro finds out from Nino's family, or the Quinn's family, the grandfather, that's right. Voiced by Kent Williams, by the way, or Dr. Giro. That it's love. You can tell the quintuplets apart by love, because he was wondering the best way to tell them apart. But yeah, when they get back, Nino ends up working at the same cafe as him, because yeah, that's where Futaro works now. He works at a cafe full-time. And Nino talking to him, she's like, look, like I said, I don't want you to give me an answer yet, because I know I haven't earned your love yet. I've been giving you shit this whole time. And I'm sorry about that. Wow. You know, it's too little too late. We're like 20 episodes in. But, alright. Anyway, Ichika starts falling in love with Futaro as well, and yeah, this is where my rant for Ichika comes in, because she turns into a colossal cunt here as well. Again, no quintuplet is safe. Ichika knows that Miku is in love with Futaro, and she knows Futaro has trouble telling the quintuplets apart. So she dresses like Miku, approaches Futaro after this point, and tells him, hey, you know, Ichika really likes you. I'm rooting for you two to get together. And she's saying this as Miku. Fuck off, Ichika. Anyway, coming up, because we're nearing the end of the season, we gotta wrap it up with another class trip. I feel like deja vu is here. While they're getting ready for their ship and shopping, all the quintuplets are shopping for new clothes, as Futaro's all like, oh, well, don't all of you quintuplets wear the same size? Yotsuba says we call that quintuplet harassment, or quintassment. Damn it, Yotsuba, shut the fuck up. One, that's stupid, and two, that's actually asking a very good question. Why are you all acting like you need to shop for different sizes of clothing? That doesn't make sense, especially when you keep making comments how all of you look exactly the same, and never mind. So yeah, we're on the school trip now, and Nino found out about what Ichika's doing and says Ichika's the type of sister who'd stab her own family in the back. One, Nino, I can't believe I have to agree with you. Two, you're not much better, being as how much of a cunt you are, and how you drugged a man and basically were calling him an attempted rapist. But yeah. In fact, Yotsuba at this point is the only one willing to sacrifice shit so that way he can end up with one of the other quintuplets. Because it turns out only 5 of them are allowed in a group together. So the quintuplets, Yotsuba agrees to... She's like, well, what if I stay out so that way he can go in your group? While all of the other quintuplets are like, no, he's going to be in my group with me alone, etc., etc. Especially Nino. She's pushing for that. And the end, though, the quintuplets are all forced to go together until they meet up with Futaro's group regardless. But, yeah. So, Ichika during this trip tries cosplaying as Miku again. It doesn't go very well. It all culminates with the Quins all agreeing to try helping Miku get with Futaro, or at least get some moment alone with him at a romantic spot. And, yeah. Before she can confess her love to her, she says, I love you. And he goes, I know. I knew the whole time. And she goes, I love my family. And he goes, what? And then it's revealed she knew the quintuplets were watching her the whole time. So he literally got cucked at the end. It ends with him getting with no one right now. Yay. I feel like I'm wasting my fucking time. Look, I know the harem genre is never deep or anything, but fucking A. For those of you that listen to me bitch and moan for the last, what, hour or so, I really appreciate that. I really do. This was somewhat cathartic for me, and for a bunch of people I talked to, my friend Dai included, who agreed that this show is not very good. Oh, if you're wondering why Dai's in here, because he's a douche that dropped the show after Season 1 and made me watch Season 2 by myself. Dick. Anyway, I can't blame him. Really can't. Thinking I should have done the same. But I feel like I had to set the record straight here. I needed to cover something everyone loved that I just don't get why. I understand when something is popular, even if I don't agree with it. Like Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite, but I get its popularity. I understand it. Or One Piece. I like One Piece fine, but people claiming it's the greatest shonen in history, I don't agree with that. But I get it. I understand why. It's well written, and I've seen the moments that One Piece has. It's fun. But with quintuplets, I just don't. I'm serious. I've seen people say it revolutionized the harem genre, and I get the message it's going for. It's about what's on the inside that counts. They all look the same, but their personalities are different. So that way, you should never judge someone based on looks alone. The problem is, I feel it's done in such a haphazard way here. If you disagree with me, like I said, that's fine. Hell, I'm pretty sure the people that do probably dropped out and are sending me hate as it is, but like I said, I'm just not the biggest fan. Miku, I felt, was the only one that was genuinely nice to him after the first episode. Like, where she tried to make an effort getting along with him. Yotsuba's nice to him too, even sacrificing for her own siblings to have a shot with him. And doing her best. Like I said, I just think she's an overall idiot. To the point of, yeah, not even being able to brush her own teeth properly without Ichika telling her how. Like, I don't even know. And also thinking she has an evil twin or a doppelganger when she sees another quintuplet disguised as her. Like, is she really that stupid? There's making a character ditzy, and then there's that. Itsuki, like I said, doesn't get much to work with. Yeah, she wants to become a teacher like her mom, and she's the only... Like, what scenes we do get with her, I feel are alright. Like when she's visiting her mom's grave and stuff. But she's the quintuplet that gets the least amount of screen time across all 24 episodes, I feel. Yet she's the first one to meet Futaro, or Futaro, whatever you want to call him. So you figured she'd have a much more major role to play, but she more or less takes a back seat for a lot of it. Ichika, I don't even know where to begin with her. So they make you think she's lazy with that trope, but it turns out she's not. Alright, fair enough. She's an actress, or an aspiring actress, and it's her apartment all the Quins move into in Season 2, because she's the only one with a full-time job that pays. Okay, sure. At least at the time, till they all get hired at their own jobs. But then she starts falling for Futaro, and because Nino admits she's in love with Futaro to Ichika, Ichika's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go full cunt now. Because it's like Nino turned her cunt dial down from 11 to like maybe 8 or 9. I'll be generous. So Ichika had to dial all the way up there. She had to dial hers up. And yeah, she admits she was wrong and scum for doing it and shit in the last couple of episodes. But it doesn't change the fact she still did it. She actually almost tore the whole family apart. The quintuplets were in disarray near the end because of her bullshit. And lastly, we have Nino. What more do I need to say? I hate this fucking character. What was it? Kirara, was that her name? Brittany Lotta from Super HX Zeros? I mentioned before that that is one of the worst characters I've seen in a harem. I think Nino might take the cake, though. They're both up there. The difference is, Nino, at least by the end of Season 2, realized what an asshole she was, whereas Kirara, to my knowledge, doesn't, at least in Season 1 of HX Zeros. I hope that doesn't get a Season 2. Please don't. But either way, Nino is just insufferable. Even when she's trying to be nice to Futaro, she's putting him down and being an asshole. There's a correct way to be a tsundere. In fact, Itsuki already fills the tsundere role, where she acts, you know, like a bitch to Futaro at times, but you could tell deep down she actually is starting to care for him. Same with Miku. Miku's the other type of tsundere, where she's like, what? I don't like him. And then, you know, she blushes shyly when he compliments her or says something nice to her. So, did we really need Nino also? Her existence feels a little redundant. It's like, okay, we have tsundere type 1, tsundere type 2, and cunt. And like I said, I don't understand people waifuing this. She drugged Futaro twice, claimed sexual assault on him, and overall puts him down every chance she gets. Oh, and laughs at him during a board game for being poor, calling poor disgusting. Again, I don't get it. I've seen people waifu yanderes like Yuno Gasai. I kind of get that, I guess. Unconditional love, even at the cost of extreme circumstances. But Nino? No, I don't understand it. Anyway, I'm just repeating myself here. As far as the other characters go, again, what was his name? Takeda? Is that the Stephen Fu character? Yeah. He's the self-proclaimed rival to Futaro. I kind of wanted more of him because he's like a fun dude to be around, but he shows up too little too late. Maida's another one where we don't even get a real gauge for his personality because of how little he's there. I'm going to hazard a guess that a lot of the issues I have are probably due to poor adaptation. Maybe someone could tell me about that who's read the manga. Because, like, Itsuki not getting enough screen time, I feel that would have been mitigated with more episodes, maybe. Same with Takeda and Maida not getting enough to work with either as Futaro's new friends. But, yeah. As far as the dub goes, oh, can't hate it. Everyone gave a really good performance here. In fact, you could tell everyone was having a blast playing these exaggerated roles. But, yeah. I guess that's really it. If you heard all of this spoilery content, and still want to give this show a shot, that's up to you. Is this show the worst harem I've ever seen? No. No, it's not. I still think Super HX Zeros is worse. However, this is up there. This is up there, alright? It is almost camphor levels of frustrating, and it's mainly because I don't get its popularity. Still don't. Like, if you guys want to see a really good series, watch Toradora. Or watch Clanted. Hell, Love Hina was the one that created a lot of the tropes that you're seeing here in Quintuplets, yet Quintuplets is getting the credit for revolutionizing the genre? Oh, and I should mention about the Quintuplets all looking the same. This was something, a pet peeve of mine when watching the show, because isn't the point of a harem to, you know, have a waifu that pertains to everyone's individual taste. Yeah, their personalities meet archetypes, but I'm talking looks too. So if you don't, let's just say this, if you don't like the design of one of the quintuplets, like you just don't like that body type or whatever, don't like, you know what I mean, chances are you're not going to like any of them at that point. They're very high. So you don't really have anyone to waifu. And I know someone's like, oh, well, you're just being shallow. Physical appearance. Bitch, don't you dare lie to me. You know the physical appearance is what attracts your gaze immediately. Oh, yeah, the male gaze. But seriously, you all know what I'm talking about. So I don't know. But yeah. This is why I think Quintuplets is very cliche, yet for some reason really popular. I don't get it. Enough rambling, though. If you agree with me, then, I don't know, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, well, I'm sure you've probably already let me know how much you hate me and want me to burn or something in Minecraft. But, yeah. Like I said, though, if you like this show, more power to you. I just couldn't get into it. I know the movie is next year, and I'll probably watch it just to say I completed this franchise, since I don't know when to leave well enough alone and actually drop a series. That being said, though, that was Quintessential Quintuplets. Man, 2 rough Dubster dives back to back. I need something cool to wash this shit down with. I gotta think of something. Maybe something action-based for once, that people are divisive on, that seems to be a little controversial in the anime community right now. Anyways, till next time, guys. And let me know who your favorite quintuplet is. If it's Nino, please tell me why. I'm serious. Like I said, mine is Miku. I'd say Yotsuba would be in second place, but God, she's stupid. I don't know. But yeah. Till next time, guys. If you have any anime you'd like us to cover, please let us know and we'll cover them eventually. And I'll say this now. Request month is coming up again very soon. So, till then, thank you all again so much for watching. And I apologize for tearing something down that a lot of people love. Alright? But to be fair, we've all been there, right? So, one of these days, I'm sure I'll cover something that I really like that everyone else hates. And you all can make fun of me for it, alright? Or get mad at me. I don't know. You all are probably already mad at me. I have a habit of pissing people off. But until next time, guys. Until next time. Oh, and hi, person. I just saw that in the chat. Hope you have a good day. Hope everyone has a good day. Till next time, guys. Thanks again.